Hello Stampers! Today I wanted to talk about the Beauty Abounds bundle, more so specifically the framelits, but I did make quite a few other cards with this that I will share on my blog in the future. But I did have a couple of questions regarding these butterflies, and so I was going to make this quick video to talk about that. On my blog I have posted these cards using the framelits. And what I said on there, and it's difficult to actually write it, is that I use leftover pieces to create these cards. So when I die cut on this designer series paper, I was left with the piece that is actually the framelit, which is over here, and then the back piece, which is here. And then I die cut another butterfly with the Grapefruit Grove, which is no longer available, sorry about that, but at the time it was. And then the leftover piece I then made into a card over here. And so if you want more details, you can look on my blog, but I am going to show you kind of from step by step how to do that with the different cards. But first, let's just talk about it. So these framelits are awesome. These 5 butterflies will fit on like a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of paper, and you zoom it right through, and then they layer on top of each other, and you can also cut them up. So here is an example of the bottom piece, or you could just leave it by itself. And then here is the top piece, and like I said, they layer really nicely on top of each other. But if you don't want to use all of the butterflies, you just simply snip them apart, and then you will have individual beautiful butterflies to use to add to other projects. So these are just samples. So I've played with quite a few of them, and I never throw these away. And I actually have a bin when I'm working on a set. And I just stick all the pieces that I didn't use into the bin, and later on it goes into a different bin. But while I'm working on it, who knows what I'm going to create. So that's another cool thing to do, is when you just die cut everything, and then you can just kind of go, ooh, this is what this does. So that's what I do. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the cards that you can make with all of the pieces when you cut your designer series paper. So first you need a piece of designer series paper, and this is from the Share What You Love. I just grabbed it because I have a lot of this. This is awesome paper, and basically you're going to choose which butterfly, and it does not matter which one you choose because they are exactly the same. You just have to decide if you want the thinner one or the bigger one. But anyway, so you would stick it on here, and you're going to run it through your Big Shot, and it cuts out really well. I did run through it twice, but it does cut out really nice. So after you have your designer series paper and you run it through, then you're going to have 2 pieces. Okay, this one got a little bit chopped off, but that's okay because I can still use it, and you'll see why in a minute. And then you have this beautiful butterfly piece right here. So now you got to go, okay, so what colors? What am I going to do with it? Well, obviously the first thing you do is what color is in the paper. And all of my customers in June got these, and I put mine on a ring, and I use this quite a bit. What I do is, even though it may say a certain color, I like to just compare it. So right here, this is Grapefruit Grove. I've been using a lot of Grapefruit Grove, and I wanted to soften it up a bit. So even though it matches that, you can go through and see if it matches other ones. And so it does match the powder pink. And basically I ended up choosing Petal Pink because it's exactly a match, but it also works with Grapefruit Grove. Okay, so that's one of the colors I'm going to use for this. But I also have this piece right here that, as you can see, is moving around. So I know I'm going to use Grapefruit Grove, or excuse me, Petal Pink, but I think I'm going to be using that as the butterfly. So what am I going to put in the background? So for this one, I'm choosing white. So all you do, and I'm going to talk about this piece in a little bit, is to make another Whisper White, or another piece that's 4 by 5 1/4, and you're going to literally glue it so that it doesn't move. you know, so you can work with it. So you would glue it onto that so that you have a sturdy piece, because I'm not wasting this piece. And after you glue it, you'll have this. Okay, so now I already know that I'm going to do the petal pink. So again, you take the same size and you decide which framelit you're going to use and you run it through. So we're going to have this piece too, but this is the piece we're working with right now. So you run it through and you get your butterfly. So my butterfly piece, here it is in petal pink. I'm going to glue it right in here like that. Now, isn't that looking just absolutely gorgeous? This could be your card right here. Just put on Whisper White or Petal Pink, and you can put your sentiment and you're done. Super easy, super quick. But I'm going to up this card and use the second layer. So you can bring out your swatches of your cardstock and kind of figure out what you want to use. Obviously, the other color here in this card designer series paper is actually basic black. I don't want to put basic black on there. I don't think it'll look too hard for me. So just for fun, there is kind of like a hue in these flowers that kind of looks grayish to me. So looking at my grays, I really like the gray granite. So that's what I'm going to choose. So taking a piece of gray granite, I'm going to die cut the butterfly again and get my top layer. So now I'm going to glue my top layer onto here, and you can see that my card is really starting to come alive. So because the top layer is gray, the best thing to do for this is either to put it on white or gray. So that's what I would choose to do when I complete this card. It's going to look just like that. Okay, so that's a completed card using the dies. But we still have this piece right here to work with, this really pretty piece right here. So the pieces that you use to create this, we have all the background pieces. So I took the gray one from this and I ran it through the subtle folder and I glued it onto a Whisper White card base. So now I have this piece keeping with the same theme as that one, and I can just stick this one in here, and again I have another quick card to go in here. So now I've used the gray. I still have the pink to use from the background, but those are two. So with the leftover pink from that butterfly, I ran it through the dot to dot embossing folder. I put it on the gray granite background. Same concept, same everything. So now you can either add white, a white one, which I did not die cut, which would go in here perfectly, or you could just do another butterfly of your choice. I actually had this one sitting around for when I made this video, so I'm just gonna stick that in there. So those are 3 examples to show you how to use all of the pieces of the cardstock in your bundle. This is a great bundle because you can add all these butterflies to different projects that you have. So thanks for stopping by.